Whoops. Hello, everyone. Happy Sunday. I hope you guys are having a wonderful start to your week. Today, we have a very, very special guest again, and I'm really excited to bring her up here to talk to her about tomatoes. But before we get into that, I'm seeing some new faces or new commenters, new little pictures in the chat. So, for those of you who are new or who don't know about it, this is our Survival Seeds 2024 live stream for the Survival Seeds 2024 collaboration. And this collaboration came into being because of the way things are in the economy right now. And there's a lot of questions going around, and it's really hard to be able to tell how things are going and how things are going to be in the coming year. It's hard to tell what gas prices are going to be next month. Furthermore, how things are going to be next year. So we started this collaboration because of that worry that what if things aren't stable enough for our family? And every year, our family buys seeds from the store because we cannot save our seeds because of how many varieties we grow of each vegetable. We grow jalapenos, forgot what one of them was called. Bell peppers, Melrose peppers. We grow lots of different kinds of peppers, and bees are not very selective about which plants they go to. If it has a flower and they like the pollen, they go to it. And that means that they cross-pollinate. And cross-pollination can be an issue because if you have a jalapeno and a bell pepper cross-pollinate, and then you save those seeds from those plants, the plants that you get the next year when you plant them could look like Melrose peppers but be spicy. And that can be very confusing and not very helpful if you're trying to get peppers for specific meals. So we always buy new seeds. And with how the economy is right now, there's that worry that what if next year we can't buy seeds? What if there is no way for us to get any seeds from it anywhere? And so we decided that it would be a good idea for us to do this little experiment where we chose 6 seeds that were beneficial nutritionally and had a lot of benefits. And we isolated them away from the rest of our plants so that they wouldn't cross-pollinate. And we grew them, we used them, and then we saved those seeds for the next year. And we thought that we wouldn't be the only people who would struggle with this, so we shared it with some friends, and sure enough, Mr. Jesse and Miss Lisa at Lazy Days Ahead and Mr. Charles at Bushcraft Family liked the idea so much that they both jumped on board and became partners in it. And so Mr. Bushcraft has an amazing side of the collaboration where he grows herbs and saves those seeds to make tinctures and remedies. And that's something that KK was actually interested in for a long time. And I'm really excited to see how that turns out because those can be very, very helpful, especially to people who have like allergies to certain things or certain health issues. So I'm really excited to see how that turns out. And then Lazy Days Ahead took charge of the giveaway, and he is doing an incredible job with it. They're doing amazing. We are almost at what? Like 300 or 3,000? Yeah. Just around $3,000 worth of giveaways, and we are absolutely blown away by all of the generous people and companies who have donated towards the giveaways. And I am absolutely thrilled that so many people are participating in it. A lot of you might have heard that originally when we started this entire collaboration, we thought, hey, if it helps people, it helps people, and that will be amazing. And I personally thought like we'd get a dozen, maybe 20 people to join. And at this point, we have sent out over 100 sets of seeds. Last time I checked, we had around 50 entry videos in the Survival Seeds 2024 playlist, and over like right around 120 videos in the hashtag. And it blows me away how many people have wanted to jump in on this. And I'm thrilled because so many people will be joining in and getting to learn about how to grow things, how to cook with them, how to preserve them, and how to save seeds so you don't have to buy them next year. And if you can't buy them next year, you don't need to. And if you are interested in joining the Survival Seeds 2024 collaboration, then you can send us an email at vineyardchickshomestead, at vineyardchicks@gmail.com. And you can find our email on the About Me page if you forget it. But you can send us an email and we'd be glad to talk to you about it and send you a set of seeds so that you can start your growing. It's never too late to join the collaboration. And if you are interested in donating to the giveaways or have reached out to a company about donating to the giveaways, then please contact Lazy Days Ahead with Jesse and Lisa, and they will talk to you about that. Now, this week, we have a very, very special, very lovely guest joining us, Miss Anne from Andale Homestead.
I needed to get myself unmuted there, honey. How are you? Yay.
I'm good. How are you?
Thank you. What an honor to be here with such fine young women. I
Aw,
appreciate that, Trey. Thank you.
Well, we're absolutely honored that you came on here with us.
So I must tell you, in the beginning, when I was describing you to my husband, he's not into YouTube or social media much. He's a consumer, usually, and occasionally he will let me film him once in a while. But I had shared with him how wonderful all you girls are, for one thing. And I said, well, they're not really girls. There's a couple of them that are young ladies now. But your mother said something to me that still makes me tear up when she wrote in a chat one night on one of your shows. And she said, thank you, Anne. You are someone that my girls can look towards of how to become. And oh my gracious. That was about the biggest compliment that I could ever have gotten ever in my whole life. And I could tell you, I still tear up that a good example for her girls. As much as she loves you, that was a tremendous compliment. And I want to thank you very much, Great Jams, for that because it makes
Well, she's not wrong. You are a lovely person, and really just like watching you, you can see that you have a lot of joy to you and that you're very kind and very open with people. And it really is just a great to watch you and kind of like learn how to interact with people a little bit better. You really are an amazing person.
Thank you, honey. Thank you. Well, I is what I is. There's some good and there's some bad, but anyway.
Well, again, thank you so much for joining us. We're really glad that you came up to talk with us and spend some time on the live. It's
Huge
really
honor.
exciting.
And then when I saw all of the list of the people that have come before and that are coming after, I thought, man, Andale, you have made it, honey, being able to come up here with this family and all these wonderful people that are your guest speakers over the past few Sundays and the next few Sundays. So I really want to thank you.
Well, we're thrilled you could come up. And I'm really excited. Today, Miss Anne is going to be talking with KK about growing tomatoes. And before we get into that, do you want to introduce yourself and tell some of the
Absolutely.
new people here about your channel?
Sure, that would be great. Hi, y'all. I'm Anne from Andale Homestead, and I just began to garden. This will be our fourth year. I mean, I look like an old lady that should have been gardening all my life. And my husband was a farmer. In his that's kind of cool. They always surprise me when those. Oh, okay, those are so fun.
They're fun.
He grew up farming from the time he was 9 years old. He worked on a farm and grew up, and then eventually found another career. But um, we just really started and got hooked. And then the pandemic happened. And so the grocery stores were weird and the prices were shooting up like crazy. And we had both retired just that same year. I mean, just a few
Mm.
months before the pandemic happened. So our income changed. And so the grocery stores are out of food and the prices are going crazy and our income changed. We had better start growing some food. And so that's what we did. But I can tell you, it's more than a garden. There are people that say that they do it, but they don't like it. They just want to eat the stuff that comes out of it. But it is my peaceful place. I really get excited seeing the seeds as they begin to swell and then peek through the ground and grow and nurturing them and looking after them. And I've been known to name a few of them. We have a little relationship going on. And I do have a live on Tuesdays, on Tuesday morning, 11 o'clock Eastern time, 10 o'clock Central. And it's called Tuesday. And I try to there's enough negativity in this world, and I try to bring some positivity all around. Most of my videos do involve some sort of story, some sort of moral. And Tuesdays is an area where I personally get to choose what my attitude's going to be for the day because we can do that. We can choose. And so I just love it.
And you do a great job at it too. Just listening to you and interacting with you and is really a great way to start your day. And I
Oh,
really appreciate it.
well, thank you, honey. That's what I hope. Sharing the love of the Lord in a good kind. I'm not going to beat you over the head with it, but in a good kind of loving. This is really pretty cool kind of time. So
Yeah. I think you are an absolutely amazing person, and I really appreciate you, and I definitely look up to you.
thank you, thank you. That brings the waterworks.
Well, then I think it's time to bring the other half of this interview into the screen.
Yeah,
That's
let's
you.
see if we can talk to Miss KK in there. She's got some good stuff coming up. Hey,
Hello.
honey, how are
How are you
you?
doing?
I'm great. I'm fantastic being able to be here with you girls.
It's great. um, so I think probably one of the first questions I want to ask is, how long have you been gardening?
Been gardening for about this will be our 4th year. The first couple of years, we didn't even have a fall garden. Fall gardens were kind of foreign to me. My mother had a garden when I was growing up, but my association with that was pulling weeds. And so I didn't like it. And
Definitely understandable.
yeah, no. And it always ended up being just a grassy mess. But yeah, so Worth and I have been married. Well, the end of April, we'll be married 45 years.
Oh, wow.
And
Congrats.
thank you. And we never had a garden until like 4 years ago. And then I said, babe, we need to eat. So let's start planting some plants. And it started out with a little bitty spot, and then we doubled it, and then we doubled that. And so now it's not a huge garden. We live in a neighborhood, and we live on 1 acre in a neighborhood in a cul-de-sac, actually. And so but we get quite a bit of food. I do as much
Nice.
saving and preserving as I can.
And you brought up preserving. What are your favorite things to preserve?
Well, I just happen to have a couple of things beside me that I have canned because I was preparing for this a little bit. Well, tomatoes, of course, are one of the easiest things. A lot of people water bath. We water bath and pressure can. And I have some stewed tomatoes. These were actually yellow tomatoes, and they're stewed tomatoes that were whole. And then I'm going to try to not spill them all over the place because Jesse knows how much I spill things. Hamburger soup. I canned up some hamburger soup. The best thing in the world when you're running late for dinner is to be able to walk in your closet, and which is our extra bedroom, and pull out a jar and have supper ready. This is another
Yeah.
jar of stewed tomatoes. We make
Ooh.
salsa. Um, this
Those look
is
awesome.
this is hot salsa. My husband loves hot things. I do not. So we have
Oh,
some medium and some mild and hot, which he loves. And I make sure that I label it with red so that I don't mistakenly eat the
that's very
salsa.
clever.
And that is all from our garden. The peppers and the onions and
Wow.
everything that go in it are all from our garden, which is a lot of fun.
That's
And
awesome.
let's see, this is spaghetti sauce. I do canned spaghetti sauce. Now, I'm not going to show you a sample of every single thing that's in there, but the best thing about the tomatoes is that you don't have to have waste. Um, for the first couple of years, I was throwing away the cores and the skins because you just want the meaty part and the yummy part. But I found out that you can dehydrate those, the skins and the cores, and grind them up. And then this is tomato skin paste. But what you do, if you want like tomato paste, you can just add some of this powder to a little bit of water and you have your
Oh,
own homemade tomato paste.
oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, I mean, it makes it so easy because, girl,
Right.
I try to cook my own tomato paste and cook those tomatoes down long enough to make it thick. I cook those things a week and they still won't
Oh
down. And
man.
I guess I had the wrong tomatoes, but this is the easiest way. And there's no waste. Absolutely. You use everything. And any
That's
kind of
awesome.
things that we might have left over, a bad spot or something we can throw out in the compost. So
Mm.
that's
And
always good.
how long have you been growing? Or wait, no, I already did that one.
Okay.
When do you start your tomato seeds?
Well, when you get the itch, really, Worth tells me that I can't put anything in the ground before the end of April, or certainly after Easter, which Easter's coming early this year, or about the middle of April. But it's been warmer this year. We
It
live
has.
in northeastern North Carolina, although you guys had snow recently, right?
We did,
Oh goodness,
but
is it
not
still
much of it. It only lasted for like a day.
Oh, good, good, good. We don't get snow here in northeastern North Carolina. If we do, one flake, and Dale's in the house,
That's
I
a
can
good
tell you.
thing.
But as far as our zone is 8A. And now they
Oh,
have recently changed a lot of the zones, and it looked like some zone charts are saying 8B because it's warmer now, but
hmm.
I don't know. So we just kind of check the weather and see what's going on. Usually around beginning of March, something like that.
Yeah, we don't really start planting until April 1st, and then we don't take them out of the house until late May because we
Mhm.
have frost until like really far into the year.
Oh, yeah, our frost date ends the end of March, so but you
Uh,
never know. I mean,
yeah,
the one time that we did have snow, our biggest snow that I remember in my lifetime of 64 years was in April, and,
oh wow.
so who knows? We'll just take a shot. Hey, Uncle Al.
Trying to go back in the chat a little bit, look for questions and say hi to
Yes,
people. So
please.
hi everyone who's been coming in. Thank you guys all for being here. We see some new
Yes.
faces and welcome into the live. Um,
Hey, G Mama.
Miss
And
Lisa
Heather.
also likes tomato powder.
Yes, she does. Cindy
Mm,
Squirrel off grid. Karma Lewis. Glad to see everybody.
thank you guys for coming. All right.
R&W. Canadian Family Life. I did want to show you I'm a prop girl. I like a lot of things that you can actually pick up and show people because I'm a visual learner. As Jesse says, he needs pictures. Well, I kind of sort of do too. But these are my Mariana
Ooh, they're so
tomatoes.
big.
They're
That's
growing
awesome.
good. I'm so tickled with these little babies. I can't even tell you. I've never grown this kind before. And we were gifted from Vivor Company a little bitty greenhouse, just like, I don't know, 6x5 or something, little bitty greenhouse that has blown all over the yard a couple of times. But
Oh
I think
no.
we got it staked down now. But they came up and they were about this tall and put them out in the greenhouse and they're just flourishing and I'm tickled to death. I
Nice.
can't wait. I can't wait.
That's awesome. And you have them in the tray, so you start them inside and move them
I
out,
do.
right?
I start them inside on a heat mat. I do have some lights, but honestly, I just didn't take the time or the trouble to set the lights up this time because
You're
they're
doing
in the
great.
extra bedroom and I needed to clear some things off to be able to find. So I put them in the den with me where I can see and they get indirect sunlight through a sliding glass door.
Right.
And then they're on a heat mat. And that's been so far, it's worked. So works for me.
And do you leave them in that size container or do you up pot them as you go before you take them
I
out?
usually up pot them. It depends on how long it has taken them to grow and how big they are and things like that. We have put plants this size, well, especially this little baby. It's a wee little baby. And we've put this size in the ground before.
Oh, wow.
And
And they do
because
okay?
our ground warms up. Our ground warms up pretty good. We do put an antacid tablet in the ground and
Oh.
or an egg in the ground, but an antacid like a Rolade or something, a Digel in the hole seems to help a lot with blossom end rot. We have had trouble with
Oh.
blossom end the last couple of years. But being able to have that extra nitrogen in there
Oh, okay.
seems to help. It helps putting that antacid in there. And you
That's
can
a
get a
really cool idea.
big old bottle for $1 from the Dollar Tree or
Oh, yeah.
$1.25 tray.
Do you have any tips for once you take them outside, staking and trimming them as they grow?
Well, what we try to do, there's determinate and indeterminate tomatoes. And determinate tomatoes grow about as tall as I am, maybe a little shorter. And then what they're supposed to do is go bloom, just bloom themselves to pieces. You have all the fruit and then you pick it and they're gone. And
Oh.
indeterminate continues to grow. And we've had them be 18, 20 feet as far
Oh,
as the
wow.
vines go. We've had to build trellises for them to loop over each other, that kind of thing.
Oh, wow.
And they're usually very late bloomers for us. We don't get them until September or October, something like that, some fruit off of them. But I try really hard to have a good section of the plant that is not this trimmed up. The stem is trimmed up so that there's plenty of airflow underneath. North Carolina is very humid. And so you can get a lot of blight or fungus and things like that on your leaves without the airflow. And so I try to make sure that of all the leaves and vines and things that are coming down, that nothing can touch the ground if it rains or while we're watering, it doesn't touch the ground. So that's a big clue along with the Digel in the hole.
That's such a cool idea. I've never thought about doing that, but that makes a lot of sense.
It does. It's the calcium. I said nitrogen, but it's the calcium that goes in it that gives
awesome.
it an extra boost. It really does help.
Wow. We start weaving our indeterminates in the wires. So we do them like grapevines. So we let them grow for a bit and then we start having them go horozontally. And that way
Ward wants to do that. Yeah.
Yay.
He wants to do that. We might We might try that this year.
Because like we end up with the trellises like really tall, and then it gets hard to plant because one time we did it in the greenhouse, and the greenhouse they ended up going to the ceiling, so that was
Right.
hard to pick.
Sure.
Like we'll keep going.
I mean, we've got like 8 to 10 foot wooden stakes are what we put up, or the taller T-post, and being able to tie them to the post. You want to make sure that when you're tying your tomatoes up, that it's a pliable material, that it's nothing strong like real stiff string. It'll cut the vines and things like that. But I really like that idea of horizontal planting. That's something I've really only seen on videos, and we're going to try to do that.
Nice. What are the toughest pest issues that you have with growing tomatoes in North Carolina?
Hornworms, tomato worms are terrible here. They're just
They're
terrible.
awful.
They're just awful. But I can tell you what and I'll do it a little bit with Worth, because at first it was a game, and we got our black light flashlights,
Mhm.
and we would go out at night and go worm hunting. And
Oh,
that was a lot of fun. But I have a creek behind our house. So we have water in a humid, hot area, which breeds mosquitoes that will
oh
pick you
no.
up and take you back to their house. So once the mosquitoes started eating me up, I was like, okay, babe, you go right ahead. Go hunting you go. Go get those worms. So, but it's still cool. And sometimes we'll get the kids here, the grandchildren, and dress them from head to toe and put some vanilla spray on them that
Oh,
Jesse has sent, because you could use that for bug spray and it's not
I didn't
toxic.
know that. That's cool.
You can mix it with water and spray the vanilla spray, and it absolutely is a deterrent for mosquitoes.
Nice.
But we'll dress them, long sleeves, long pants, socks, and shoes, and they get to go out and go worm hunting.
Oh,
And
fun.
so that's kind of cool. I mean, it's a fun time.
Yeah, Trey usually that's our biggest issue up here too. They're everywhere. And she usually just feeds them to the emus because they seem to like it well enough.
Yeah. Oh, the chickens do fight over them, but
Mhm.
yeah, you could go out there. They're like lightning bugs all over the doggone
Right.
tomato. It's crazy.
And what are your best months for collecting the tomatoes you grow?
Our indeterminate tomatoes, which usually do produce the most tomatoes for us. And in the past, it's been some cherry tomato brands. This year, I'm going to try I haven't ever grown Roma tomatoes. Everybody grows Roma tomatoes. I haven't grown one, but we were using Dixie red tomatoes. And they were actually starts from our local nursery, because our local nursery was selling starts for 10 cents a piece. So we would go and get theirs.
Oh, that's
And
awesome.
yeah, I mean, I can't grow them for 10 cents a piece with the
Right.
dirt and all that. But this year, because of you girls, I wanted everything from seed, and I wanted to be able to I knew how to grow it from seed, but I kind of got away from it a little bit, bought starts more than seeds. But it's important for us, for our knowledge, if things come about that nursery no longer exists, and Worth and I have to depend on ourselves, that we
Right.
can grow it from seed. And
It
so
makes for good practice.
it does.
And you mentioned a little bit of the kinds of tomatoes you grow, but what are all of the types you have tried?
We have, well, the Dixie Red, which we're not going to have any of those this year. The last 2 years, we've battled blossom end rot with them quite a bit. And I think it came from wherever they came from before we ever got them, kind of thing. I'm not sure. But anyway, we're going to change and do Romas. My very favorite tomato that I ever grew was a pink, pink,
Ooh.
what is that? Pink Brandywine.
Oh, I
It's
was
went
trying.
right out of my brain. It just went flying right away. There's a pink brandywine tomato. I watched that thing all summer. It wasn't ripe until late summer, early fall, but it got
Ooh.
so large that I had to make a sling for it
Oh, wow.
so that it wouldn't pull off the vine, and it was absolutely delicious. And we grew some Cherokee purple tomatoes last year, and they are to die for as well. So,
Those are
yeah.
fun. You get all
Yeah,
the different colors in there.
yeah, it was fun. I did grow, I'm sorry to interrupt, but I did grow more yellow tomatoes this past year because I heard or understood through my research that yellow, if anybody out there suffers with arthritis, because I do, um, that it's supposed to have less acid in the yellow tomatoes than in the really red or real dark tomatoes. I didn't see a lick of difference, quite frankly, in how I felt. But I love tomatoes so much. I just had to have myself, tomato sandwiches and salads and all kinds of things.
Right. When we were trying to figure out what seeds we wanted to send out for this year, we had a really tough time trying to pick out the Mariana because
Okay.
we wanted a plum variety that's good for sauces, but we also wanted it good fresh. If you were saving seeds and you could only grow one type of tomato that you've ever done, what would that be?
Who? Who? I don't know because my Cherokee purple tomatoes don't get big. They're like medium size. Or at least the ones I had last year, because every year's a new beginning. You never know. You think you got it down pat, and then another gardening year comes around and
And then it doesn't work.
that goes out the window. Um, and then the pink brandywine were wonderful, but they didn't bear a ton of fruit. They were very good. I guess we did grow some Carolina yellow tomatoes last year. The flavor wasn't all that good. I, I don't know, honey. I should have thought about that. What seed I would say.
There's so many different varieties. It's like really hard to find one that's like really good for everything.
Yeah, it is. It is. So, yeah.
And really quickly, what are your favorite kinds of uses for those tomatoes? Like, do you use them fresh? Do you mostly can them?
Both. We eat a lot of them and we can as much as we can. I did finally realize the easy process of canning tomatoes is if you can't get to them, put them in a Ziploc bag and stick them in the refrigerator or the freezer. Because if you put them in the freezer, when they come out to thaw out, the skins just pop off. I mean, you just bloop, and the tomato
Oh wow.
skins just fall off if they've been
Hmm.
frozen. But my very favorite fresh tomato dish is cut up tomatoes, maybe a fresh onion in there as well, and have salt and pepper and sugar and a little bit of vinegar.
That sounds really good.
So yummy. So yummy. And you salt and pepper and sugar them and then put them in the refrigerator. Then when you bring them out, you just add the vinegar at the end. Yum.
Oh, that sounds
Very, very
awesome.
good. Yeah.
One of the ones we use a lot when we're trying to use them fresh is we slice them up on a plate and then
Mm,
put olive oil and garlic and salt on top of that. And then you can
yum.
just use that.
Well, I
We
do
use a
have
lot of garlic over here.
a little bit of vinegar that I may have gotten from a couple of really special people that I've been using to be able to use on our tomatoes and in our cooking and in the pasta. It's just been you girls are amazing, all the
Aw,
talents that you have. Oh my gracious.
well, we think you're amazing too. You're a really great role model, and you have a lot that we can learn from.
Thank you. Thank you, honey.
What ways do you preserve your tomatoes, and what are your favorites? Do you like water bath or pressure can?
Both, but it just depends on, of course, if you add any kind of meat to it for any kind of spaghetti sauce or soups or things like that, you have to pressure can it. I cheat. I've gotten an electric pressure canner, which is Carry electric pressure canner, just like a Nesco electric pressure canner. I love it, you guys. I mean, it might be cheating, but man, it's good. It won't do big giant batches, but it makes canning, to me, very simple. You can start it, put the timer on, and walk away, and it turns itself off. I mean, you don't have to stay in the same room and babysit it the whole time. So it's not an all-day
Nice.
affair. It's wonderful. And then with water bathing, we have a steam canner. And the reason why I got that, it just has a short pan on the bottom and a tall lid. It's the exact same thing as water bathing. But as you grow older, lifting heavy pots of water is not as easy as it used to be. And so having a short pan with a tall open lid is really easy. And so,
That's nice.
I'm going for
Sounds
the
really
fast and easy stuff these days.
And to close up the interview segment, we have a ton of new gardeners who are trying this for the first time with the survival seeds. Do you have any tomato advice for what they should be doing if it's their first time?
Well, one thing that I can share, if you're a brand new gardener, when I started 4 years ago, I was so excited about starting seeds that I thought you were supposed to plant every single seed in the packet.
Oh, no.
Yes. And so I had like 200 tomatoes plants of the same variety everywhere. And I fell in love with all of them. I mean, what do you do when they're growing so great? I mean, I gave them away as presents.
That's awesome.
I put them in pots to give to the convalescent so that they could just walk out in water and have some fresh tomatoes. And I still had to put some in the compost. So don't plant all your seeds. Just pick a few. That's one main thing. And then as for tomatoes, watering after they get up a little bit, water from the bottom. Trim the stake a little bit. You can trim off suckers if you want to, and eventually people will share with you. You'll watch some videos and find out what a sucker is. I didn't do that last year. I think it was probably a mistake. I do like to pinch the suckers off of the tomatoes and water from the bottom. So that's my cue.
It's awesome. We end up cutting off our suckers too, and we also cut off all of the low leaves because that's usually where they get most of the disease from. So we try to keep that nice and clean down there.
Yeah. And you could just almost see the tomato plants going, thank you. It's like us out in hot summer and you're going, oh, I can finally get some air. So
I'm going to cut to the commercial real quick, and then we're going to bring up Bushcraft and Lazy Days.
Like a rocket up into the sky, nothing can stop me tonight. You make me feel invincible, earthquake powerful, just like a tidal wave. You make me brave, you're my titanium, fight song raising up, like a roar of victory in stadium. Who can touch me? 'Cause who can stop me tonight? You make me feel invincible. I feel it, invincible. I feel it, invincible.
That pot, the indoor growing spot. The perfect way to grow indoors. It's easy when you use a pot. Rainpoint water timer turns on wherever you go. Rainpoint water timer. X pests for unwanted guests. X pests for quality, that's the best. X pests to keep away all your pests.
All right.
We're back.
Hey, let's get the family all in.
Oh, he's got Blinky's hat.
Hey.
Oh yeah, I see
And
it.
he's got. Ooh,
Oh, he's got
you
the
guys
hat
have
too.
nice hats on.
Oh gosh, bushcraft. I should have brought in my lemon balm that's growing. You guys are muted though. You know that, right? Everybody.
There we go. I brought my. Well, never mind. Hold on a minute.
I had
I
the
brought
same
my invisible plant.
There we go.
Oh my
That
gosh.
looks so
Little
good.
tomato
Wow.
Whoa.
That's incredible.
Fantastic.
The invisible plant.
Oh, and the pepper.
Yep, peppers are doing good.
That's
That's
awesome.
nice.
There we go.
My
Turn
little
that back
lemon
on.
balm is about
My
this
invisible
tall. I'm
plant.
so proud of it. Oh gosh, there's the invisible plant again.
It's
Yeah.
super cool when you hold it in front of you. It's just like invisible.
So what? So now, let me ask you a question. Why do you cut the branches off the bottom of the tomatoes?
Because
To let
they're
air
used-
flow
Oh,
because it is so humid here, as it is in Texas.
Right.
You may have a drier heat than we do. I'm not sure, but it's wet heat. Yeah, we have wet heat, like wet
We're
blanket.
talking
heat.
like 75% humidity
Okay.
Oh man.
or
It
more.
really helps with you know how your leaves will get brown and crispy and they get kind of a blighty stuff. It helps with that a lot to
Okay.
be able to they stay greener and brighter and when they have better airflow.
Yeah, it helps us.
Doesn't it also help send nutrient to make the rest of the plant grow? Because if the bottom ones stay on, then it's really defeating the purpose of letting the plant grow up.
Yeah,
tall.
it does. I mean, you have a potential of having more tomatoes down at the bottom, and it's all in what you want to do. But
Right.
those tomatoes and leaves and things may struggle more, which takes some of that strength away from the whole tomato plant if they're fighting those things. You know, it's just
Right.
like when we have an owie in our body. If we have an owie somewhere, our right toe might feel just fine, but we're concentrating on the left one that doesn't feel so good. So
Mhm.
that's
I
sort of
got
what plants do.
And blight also splashes back up when it rains. So not having the branches there keeps it from getting reinfected.
Well, that's right. It makes it
okay.
easier for infection, bugs, whatever.
Yeah.
To contaminate the plant.
Now,
Makes sense.
okay, so also at the bottom of the tomato plants, you get more roots growing. Do you put more dirt in there to cover those up, or
Sometimes, depending on if it looks, because in Texas, as in North Carolina, depends on where you live, but those roots can get sunburned. They can get scorched and dry up, and then the water can't flow through them to be able to get to the tall plants. So yeah, if I see
Okay.
that there's a bunch of roots sticking out, I throw some dirt on them,
Yeah,
okay?
give them little sunshades.
that makes sense.
I'm going to go to chat for any questions. If you guys have any questions, you can drop them in the chat. She knows a ton about tomatoes, and she's a
Oh,
really good
gosh.
gardener.
There was Nanny Tam did say in here earlier that she really liked the fact that you can just kind of flicker tomatoes and they'll pollinate themselves, and she really liked that. I forgot to say that part. It's really fun. I'll go out and just kind of shake the branches a little bit, and a tomato plant has everything it needs to self-pollinate. You just got to kind of shake it up a little bit and sprinkle it on each other. And this year, what I've done is for our seed saving for the Mariana tomatoes, you know, we can put our plants in any kind of private spot of our yard, but there's still that bee doesn't know that it's not supposed to be there. So I bought some cloth bags. I learned this from another channel that is escaping me. She's a huge channel. Anyway, trying to remember the name of her channel. Doesn't matter. The bags, like if you have this year especially on any of our plants, because we're trying to save the food. If a cluster of tomato blooms, and before they have fruit, you go ahead and place. It's like a you've seen those white gift bags, like cloth gift bags that have a drawstring.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Place
knitting.
that over them, and then once they start to produce the fruit, you tie a ribbon on that little branch to say that that's the one that you have saved. You can take your bag off. Yeah, Grace and
like
Fire
this.
Lady Cheryl did. Yeah, like that bag. You can take that bag off, and you have a ribbon there marking it to know that you can eat the rest of the plant, but save the seeds from those particular tomatoes because you know that they're going to be heirlooms. They're not going to be pollinated from any other thing. So I just thought that was pretty cool.
That's very
That is
neat.
very neat.
I don't think I see any more questions in the chat.
So what would happen if you cross contaminated or whatever you want to call it, cross
Pollinated.
pollinated a jalapeno pepper with a banana? Would you have a banana pepper?
You have a hot banana pepper.
Or
You
or a
would.
hot? Well, you could have a sweet pepper or a hot banana.
You could. You could have either one. And usually the heat takes over, dominates the mildness. And I'm so sensitive to anything that is hot. I really don't like hot spices at all. My husband adores them, loves them, eats them on every single piece of food that he eats. He sprinkles pepper on it, like red pepper.
Well, that's why he
cayenne
married
pepper.
you, because he loves hot stuff.
That's right. Yeah, I was told. I was told I'm not fat. That hot things or beautiful things expand in the heat, and so I was just hot. I expand. Okay. Oh gosh.
No.
Critter Creek is asking, how do you water from the bottom up? That was one of your pieces of advice for new gardeners.
Okay, like when they're this size, you can't really water from the bottom. But what we do is instead of like we just have a sprinkler. We don't have an irrigation system. We just have one of those sprinklers that sits up on a stand. And we're pretty fancy getting that because before it was just a water hose with a handle that we would get out every afternoon. Now Worth at least can stick it on a stand and it sprinkles the whole garden back and forth. But when the tomatoes get bigger, then he'll hand spray it on the bottom at
Under
the
the
dirt
leaves.
level rather
Yeah.
than up top, because when the leaves get wet, if they stay wet all night, it's much more likely to bring disease.
Right. And if they're wet, if the leaves are wet and then the sun comes out, then you can end up burning up the leaves. So that's why we always
Absolutely.
watered in the afternoon.
Yes, and that's what we do too.
Now, if Worth wants to do it the lazy way, the way I do it is I sit out there in my little hammock, get my fan, my oscillating fan, and I hook the water hose to the oscillating fan, and it's keeping me cool. It's also watering the garden. Sit there with my glass of iced tea, and then get the
I
job
need a
done.
video. If you have a video, it didn't
I
happen.
want a video of that too.
Me too.
Just the lazy way. You kill two
That's
birds
okay.
with one stone.
That's good. That's good. I do desire drip tape. I really do. And Grace and Fire. I did have a company that reached out to me and actually sent me a water irrigation system. And it looked amazing and wonderful, but it wasn't a manual thing. It did have a timer, but you had to hook it to your Wi-Fi and control it on your phone. And I couldn't figure it out. It was too smart for me. So I ended up giving it away as a prize. But yeah, you would have a hot banana pepper. It happened to me, B. Charmin says.
So I grew up with the impression that banana peppers were hot. That's why we never got them in our sandwiches. So I've never like actually tried that. I thought they were.
No, they're delicious. They're not hot at all, honey. They just have that it's a different taste than a green pepper, but
Well, they taste different
it's
between,
almost sweet.
but even with like bell peppers, they tell us difference between the green and the red and the yellow and the orange.
There's
They all
subtle
taste,
flavor.
they're all a subtle difference on each one.
Mhm.
Right.
So
Yeah. You would
I
have
was
a
not aware
honey
that
and a
they weren't
pepper.
spicy.
And Grace and Fire says, "Girl, I want drip tape too." You just bought the green stock watering system. Good for you. Good for you, Grace
Good for
and
you.
Fire.
Yeah,
Yeah.
one of the prizes, one of the sponsors for Survival Seeds 2024 is Rainpoint, and they have a lot of irrigation systems. And we were actually using one inside to water some of our indoor plants, and we had one that we were using outside, and it's really helpful because not only do you not have to stand there with the hose and water it, but you don't even have to go outside. You can literally just go on your phone, go on the app, and turn it on, and you don't have to go out.
and that's one of the prizes we're giving away.
That's the one I couldn't figure out. Oh my God.
That's a super lazy way to do it.
Magical.
I had trouble
It's
figuring
really-
out the let pot one.
Yeah, I'm just too
So that
technically
means if
sound.
Miss Ann wins, that she's going to give it away.
No, if Miss Ann wins, now I know somebody that knows how to work.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
God,
Yeah.
that's-
You gotta hit try out.
help me set it up. That's for sure. Oh my goodness. So, Bushcraft family, how's everything going? Are people contacting you for your herbs and things?
Yeah, I got another batch going out tomorrow of seeds.
good.
Oh, that's so awesome. I was just we had dehydrated some dandelions that I picked like Easter eggs out in the yard, and the dandelion root, that's the first time I've saved the root and made some tea with it. It tastes a little like dirt, y'all. It tastes like dirt. But if you add honey, it's kind of a nutty dirt.
Becoming a dirt connoisseur.
Before you dehydrate them and everything, you soak them in just the root in water and just a little bit of vinegar draws out the dirt.
Okay, I did soak them in water, but I did
Yeah.
not put any vinegar in there.
Yeah, just a little bit of vinegar draws out the dirt, and then you rinse them off again. Then you can dehydrate them. Most of the time,
That's awesome.
most
Sounds
herbs
great.
and stuff, I let do it itself. I don't use a dehydrator.
Well, how
I
do
don't
you
know.
do that though? I mean, well, let's answer fallen Arkansas veterans. What's the best rule to water?
What are
your
the
garden?
best rules to water your garden? Vineyard Dad brought up in the chat that morning watering is best. Never do it in the high sun because you're going to burn your plants, especially if they're little. It's not good.
Yeah, because if you burn their leaves, then they can't take in any energy from the sun because the sun kills
And
them.
depends if you're using city water or well water too, because city
Oh,
water has
yeah, I know
chlorine and all that stuff in it that you don't want on leaves because it'll kill your plant.
Right. Miss Lori says don't overwater. That's important too.
The best
Yep.
best way to check your soil is your finger. Just stick it in the dirt.
Stick your finger right in there and see how deep it goes before you feel some moisture. We're pretty dry here. And so it needs quite a bit of water. Even though, I mean, it's right beside a creek, but I have a lot of tall trees in the yard, and those trees drink that water so strong.
That makes
that
sense.
Oh yeah.
it dries out the land pretty quickly.
Yeah, that makes sense. Trey, you have videos to talk about.
Yep.
37.
Tonight or today, or man, this week when I looked at the hashtag, I saw that there are 4 new videos and 2 of them are entry videos. Let me find the
Awesome.
photo
Robert,
I had.
good for you.
That one. Here we go. Oh, everyone. Okay.
Okay,
Well-
so why don't you just there you go.
So,
Yeah.
Miss Gail at Gail Southern Living put up an update on her garden and on her seeds in the Survival Seeds 2024 collaboration. And everything is starting to come along really, really well in her garden. And in the spirit of the season, she was wearing some really cute bunny ears in the video. So if you haven't seen that, definitely check that out. Why don't they? Okay.
None of them have the names.
Yeah. Miss D at oh, it completely slipped my mind.
D's gardening.
These garden.
Gardening Adventures, thank you. She has all of her seeds sprouting, and we're super excited about that. It'll be really great to see how our plants do, and I'm really excited to learn from everyone because everyone's doing a slightly different take on planting and growing their plants. And it's honestly really exciting to see how everything is different for everyone. And then the budget prepper also put up a new entry video where, stop pushing me, where she got her seeds and she talked about the collaboration and all of the different seed types and what the collaboration is about. And I'm really excited to see just how many different people join and talk about what they're excited to do and what they're excited to learn about. And then the other entry video that was put up was Miss Rachel at Cooking on the Farm. She put up her entry video and she has received her seeds and planted them. And she planted them in humidity domes, which I thought was really cool. We don't use humidity domes for all of our plants. So I thought it was really cool that she put them in there. And I'm really excited because, like I said, everyone's doing a slightly different take on how they are planting their seeds. And not everyone is the same, and everyone's a little bit unique about how they're doing it. And I'm just so excited to see which techniques do differently and how they're doing.
That's very true. We're a little bit different in the Land of Plenty. That's my garden name, the Land of Plenty. We use weed fabric. And we do hill our garden. We do have hills, but we use weed fabric as well and take a torch and burn holes, mainly because I don't like pulling weeds. I don't like it. So,
I don't think very many people do.
Yeah.
that helps a lot. Keep the weeds down.
And all these videos that she's referring to can be seen on hashtag Survival Seeds 2024 playlist. So if you want to go look at those videos, and there's a lot to be learned. And when you mentioned the humidity domes, I said, man, that's an excellent idea. You got a portable greenhouse right there. For those that need it. You know, here in Texas, we don't need too many greenhouses, but you know what I'm talking about, right? It's an awesome idea. And they were huge. They were like, bigger than a cake.
Mm-hmm. Really?
Right.
I bought some from the Dollar Tree this year. First time I've ever had any. And I've enjoyed popping those things over because I do have some plants that were sent to me from a garden company, and it's still a little chilly at night sometimes. So I'll put that dome over them, and then they're protected from the cold or the wind or whatever, you know.
Yeah, I think Lisa's at the point where she's going to have to start putting her tomatoes outside now. She's been growing them indoors. So she's ready.
Are you going to put them in the ground or in pots? Oh, yeah.
I'm going to put them in grow bags.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I've got beets are coming up outside in the grow bags.
Nice.
What was the other? Oh, I planted some radishes too. So those are coming up also.
And because we live in the Gulf Coast, it makes it so much easier for us to haul those plants inside the garage in hurricane type weather, because we've had that several times where you couldn't, and if you don't have them in grow bags or some sort of way of getting them into shelter, then
I get you.
It was.
We have hurricanes. It's like, okay, Lord, you take over for the garden because
you know you're right there in North Carolina.
That's right.
So grow bags work good for us.
That's good. That's great. We have quite a few grow bags as well.
So, KK, Trey, you know, we are excited already about what's been going on this month. So we got looks like we have 49 videos that have been added to the collaboration this month. Well, I take that back. It's 44 this month, 5 from last month, but we're going to include the 5 from last month in this month with this month's draw, because we're having a video of the month for those that do update videos for Survival Seeds 2024.
Yay.
We're going to have a video of the month draw, and we got up to 49 videos so far. And look, we're not even through with the month yet.
Oh, next Sunday.
Next Sunday, and that's when the big draw is going to be. But
Exciting.
and then all the intro videos. We have a total, including the host videos. We have a total of 133 Survival Seed 2024 videos. And they thought they were just going to get 10 or 11 people to join the celebration.
So I'm not living that down anytime soon.
So happy for you girls. So happy. And for
Trey
all 3 of you.
We're in Houston, and Trey thinks we're like 3 hours away. So her estimations are not very good. 10 or 11.
Oh gosh.
133. Who does that?
Yeah. First paragraph, Jesse. First paragraph.
No, that's great. We're just so excited. And next week is the big giveaway for the month of March, and there's going to be some awesome giveaways. We have a total of almost $3,000 worth of prizes that we'll be giving out for the season, for the
whole season.
The whole season, and
through October.
Yeah, through October. And if I'm looking at this correctly, let me get down a little bit further. We're going to be at $272 next Sunday worth of prizes. $272 for one draw. I mean, for one giveaway night.
That's insane.
I mean, the only other person I know that gives that much away is no.
Yeah.
So we're looking forward to next week. We got some awesome prizes. You guys got to show up to see what we're going to be giving away.
That's
And your
right.
chicks have gone above and beyond this with this collaboration. And thank you to all of the vendors. So if all the vendors that are watching, if you're or the donors, thank you so much for all the donations so far.
Yes.
Miss Ann,
awesome.
thank you as well for the donations that you were able to secure for the Survival Seed 2024 collaboration.
Amazing.
Yeah, so
Yes.
I mean that
That's
right there
really
alone.
cool.
Yeah.
That's
And it's
cool.
funny you show that little bench. I found an original bench, like
I
a mirror
saw
bench,
that.
and those things cost. I mean,
60
probably
on up. Probably.
well with the tool bag, it's $104 for that setup right there. $104 roughly.
Wow.
Okay, I found one for $8 in Oregon.
Yeah, but you got,
It's an original. It doesn't have the tool bag, but it's the bench and the seat and everything else. Just
like-
saying,
Yeah.
50 years old, I think.
must be,
Yeah,
but it's
I
all
saw
metal.
that. I saw that
It's-
bench.
It's all metal, but I'm just saying,
Yeah,
it's
the
like
bench we won.
they'll last a long time. A mirror benches are going to help you in the garden,
That's
especially when
right.
you got.
Garden Adventures.
Deanna got hers. Yeah.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
See, there you go. And I'm sure she loves it, especially the little tool patch that goes with it.
She says, I love the bench.
Well, it's very nice because you can flip it upside down and use it as a knee brace
As a
as
knee pad,
well.
knee pad, yeah.
Amirla has been very generous to sponsor
have.
us, and so I was very thankful for that.
No, it's amazing.
Yeah, it really is. We were just blown away by all of the donors and everything.
Not to mention, I'm wearing a donor hat right here. This is one of our donors is PWS, which is
Premium.
Premium Wagyu Steaks. Premium Wagyu Steaks is one of our donors, which we'll be giving away some steaks at the end of the collaboration.
Now
talking
that is something Adele wants to win. I can tell.
Steaks.
You.
I can't wait.
It's gonna be
I
awesome.
can't wait.
Hey, who doesn't like
and I'm
steak?
and I'm not even eligible to win, and I can't wait. That'd be wrong for me to draw my own name, wouldn't it?
That'd be
And poor
hilarious.
Jesse, at least Lisa can usually enter in all these giveaways, but we have ranked Jesse into helping us with all of our giveaways so much that the poor man doesn't ever get to enter any
Well,
of
that's
them.
what I say. I never get to win. I never win. Even when, even when I do win, Lisa wins it.
Yeah. That's true.
Well, your
Just
winter is
saying.
fun with
Mhm.
those. Oh, look, bush crab. I got your sticker.
I ran out of stickers too.
That was very kind. It was a nice
And
bonus.
I know Critter Creek's in here, right? Wasn't he here
He
earlier?
was.
I saw
Yeah.
him earlier.
So we just got our stickers printed from what he did to enhance our logo. So
I just love that.
those we just got those this
It
week,
came out great.
Color
and they
edition.
came out awesome there. So these will be the new stickers we send out from here on out.
They really did come out
Fancy.
awesome.
You
Yeah,
did.
Mickey from Critter Creek did an awesome job. Can't thank him enough.
He did. He did.
Yeah.
Now I got the herbs. Yes, came in the mail yesterday, wasn't it?
Mhm.
Yeah. So I haven't planted those yet, but I did have some dill, tarragon, and thyme that are popping up, little bitty green leaves.
Isn't
So
that fun?
that's
We
exciting.
know
Yeah.
babies.
I love to
Who
see
is
them
that
grow.
stranger popping in?
Are you seeing double?
I am.
Don't worry, it's just your eyes.
That stranger popping in.
She always pops in.
She's a party crasher.
She's a party crasher, right?
Oh, he is in here. Critic.
Yeah.
Oh my gracious. So this has been a wonderful time.
Yeah.
y'all.
It has.
So-
And after, why is that a ticker?
Because I put it on ticker.
Why? What did you do?
Because it's fun.
Don't ruin my banner.
Don't ruin it. They're
There you go.
fun.
Yeah.
Garden State Gardener just started his live at 7, so 12 minutes ago. And if you guys would like to have a chance to win seeds and other cool prizes and have fun with a great friend of ours, Garden State Gardener, Mr. Joe, runs a really great live every Sunday. It's a Sunday fun day. Love your shirt.
Oh, hey, you match.
Aw.
So
It was-
fun.
Hey.
Aw.
Like mine, huh?
Sorry to interrupt. Yes. like mine.
Hey, you know what I just realized? Sunday fun day sounds a lot like Tuesday.
Sure.
Tuesday,
Yeah.
Tuesday. Yeah.
You gotta have a little cat.
Random thought.
Not Sunday.
Look at that, Lazy Acres
Thanks
Homestead.
for sharing that random
And
thought.
Lazy
there. Yes. Nice.
Well,
chatting.
Yeah,
It's
thank
been
you.
great. Thank you for coming in.
Yeah, this is really cool, Miss Ann.
Learned a lot.
Thank you. I have enjoyed it. I mean, I could talk about tomatoes for about a week and a half, probably.
Oh yeah.
That's what-
I go up in my grower where I'm growing all my stuff, and I'll rub the stem of my tomatoes just so I can get the smell of tomatoes.
Tomatoes.
I like the
Oh,
smell.
hurry up, grow.
Yes.
So I have one more question. One more question on tomatoes. So when they grow and they have a branch over here, and you got that little leaf coming through.
That's called
Do
a
you?
sucker.
Oh, okay. So you take those off.
I do. Now we did not last year, and our tomato bushes got way too tight, and they got too much disease and all of that. But in order to save the energy of the tomato plant, you can pinch them or
Pinch
you
'em,
can clip them.
I
But-
watched a video where a guy trained his tomato plants to go up on one of them trellises, like a cow fence, and all the tomatoes were growing downward. All the fruit was all dropping off of the trellis.
That's pretty cool.
It was hanging, not dropping, but it was hanging.
They're just hanging. He just goes up there and goes clip, 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 clip.
Oh, nice.
That's,
Yeah.
what we
That's
did with the
cool.
beans.
He just
Yeah.
trained them to go up like
Go up and over.
a cattle
We
panel,
have
a
to
cattle
determine
panel.
that.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's funny. We played around with that a little bit. We had our beans going over like that last year, and the
Right?
beans that did really, really well. And then we tried it with the watermelons.
Well, you
The
can do it
vines
with,
weren't strong enough for the watermelon.
you can do it with the
no.
ice box. You can do it with the ice box watermelon. Now the other ones, I don't know about the bigger ones, but the
We
ice
have to
box
tie some
watermelons will
slings.
grow like that. And then
Yeah, we had to get nets and stuff to hold the watermelons
Right,
because they would
little-
just drop.
little
Yeah,
bag.
you can use your mom's nylons.
Here you
Yes.
go.
Put the watermelon in there and then tie it to the.
I used an old Ace
oh.
bandage, but yeah, you can use hose. Mhm.
Mhm.
Now Dee
Uh,
says
not
you can
for-
also
the store, like
Seed
specific for
Garden.
that purpose.
Ginger over Not For Nothing did her loofahs that way. She did it over the cattle panels and grew her loofahs.
That's cool.
Wrong one.
That's cool. I am trying to grow some blue butterfly
Yeah,
peas. to be able
some
to
of the
have-
suckers on, what is it, determined or non-determined? I always get them mixed up.
Determinate
They're like-
short and indeterminate is long.
Like the Roma tomatoes, just let
Roman
'em
tomatoes
grow.
are determinate usually.
Yeah, just let them grow. Don't
Yeah.
bother with the suckers or anything.
Oh, that's
Okay.
cool.
Yeah, it does make a difference on determinate or indeterminate.
Because like my purple Cherokees, I'll take the suckers off because they keep growing.
Mhm.
Wow. You learn something every day.
Yes.
That's the hope.
You
That's
think-
the hope that they keep growing.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
The
like
grace of fire. Okay, I'm sorry.
no, you're good.
I'm reading the chat.
Trichomes. Tomatoes are plants that have trichomes, and that's the little Bunky calls them little hairs on the plants.
That's what makes
So-
tomatoes furry.
Yeah, so you can just like take those out and they'll regrow. They're really easy like that.
And that was another comment in the chat that Lisa, when you do trim those suckers, if you want to start another crop of tomatoes, that will grow another tomato plant,
Wow.
just like that. You can put some growth hormone
know if
on
you can
it,
see it.
or you can put it in water a little
Oh,
bit.
dang. Never mind.
Invisible plant.
Invisible plant.
Ugh, I need to
I
go
love
with
that.
different
We need to
colors.
start using blue
plants.
screens or something.
But you can
You
put them in
know
a little
what?
bit of water, like a vase, and they'll grow new roots.
Roots.
Or you could put a growth hormone on them and stick them right in the dirt, and they'll grow.
Right.
Yeah,
Nice.
if you look at the very bottom of a tomato plant, there's little hairs, and each one of those hairs will actually make a root. And
Yep.
same thing when you take the suckers off, there's little hairs on it. Each one of those little hairs will make a root.
Yeah.
Yep.
Cool.
Maybe that's why I like them so good, because they're easy to grow.
They
I'll have to
are.
try
They're
that.
just
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think I'm going to try that.
Good.
I think I'm gonna let her.
It's
gonna let her try
fun.
it.
I mean, it's fun to play with,
It is.
just try new things. It's just-
Yeah, because you learn.
Yeah. I had tomatoes that were storm damaged.
Wow.
Yeah. Okay,
Yep, that would
good.
work.
That's right.
But I think that's pretty much all we got for tonight. We'll be right here next week talking to our next guest, and that will also be the monthly giveaway date. So make sure you don't miss that. And you can get into that by making a video for the collaboration and being a collaborator. You can comment on those videos, or you can even just be in chat. There's, I think 3, maybe 4 opportunities to win. So make sure you don't miss that.
Yep. And again, thank you so much for joining us, Miss Anne. This was really, really great. We
It
learned a
was
lot.
my honor, and I got all the joy from that. Thank you, honey. Thank you.
And thank you, Mr. Charles and Miss Lisa and Mr. Jesse, for coming up and joining us.
It's always a pleasure.
Yes. It's always fun.
And to everyone in the chat who stuck with us, thank you guys so much for staying. And we'll have a great week, and we'll see you next week. Where do you?
Go see Joe. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, go see Mr. Joe.
you don't get.
Have a great night.
Now you can click the button.
Good night.